fifth graders. We're going to keep talking about mixtures and solutions. So remember, a mixture is when you mix two or more materials together. It could be liquids, solids, gases. It could be anything. If you look here, I have a mixture of marbles. The reason that this is a mixture is because the marbles, you can see each individual one. And if I wanted to separate them out by color, I could do that. So a mixture is easily separated. That's another quality that it has. And then your other part is a solution, and we're going to talk more about that today. So if I wanted to actually create a mixture, it could be really anything. And I wanted to check to see if I could separate it, because a mixture can be separated very easily by a strainer. Like if you were straining spaghetti, that would be a mixture of spaghetti and water in a pot. For me, I'm going to pour some pea rocks or just regular rocks into this container. And then I am going to pour some water in here. Okay. So once I pour water in there, and I mix this together, okay, it's a mixture, obviously. It's water mixed with rock. And if you look in here, you can still see that it is a mixture. You can still see everything. Okay, so now I'm going to check and see if you can separate this easily. So I'm going to use a glass jar or a cup that looks like this. And then I'm going to use a coffee filter. If you're making coffee, you would put coffee grounds inside here, and then the water pours onto the coffee, and that creates a solution, and then that's what people drink. So I'm going to put this on here. And what should happen is that my rocks inside my mixture should separate easily, and water should be trapped into my cup. Okay, so if I pour this nice and easily here, so now water is coming through the filter. So this would be just like you're making coffee, except for coffee, you're creating something. I'm just trying to separate it. There, it's going a little faster. All right, so if you look inside my cup, I've completely separated it, which means my water is in the glass, and on top, I have all my rocks. So this is considered to be a mixture because you can separate the materials easily and pick out the different types of materials that you have mixed together. So remember, you can mix multiple items. So the next part, we're going to be mixing some different materials. So this time, I am going to pour water into a cup that looks like this. Okay. And then I'm going to use salt, and I'm going to mix it together. Now, when we talked about this in class, we talked about dissolving. Okay. So if I put salt into water and I stir it, okay, and I mix it together, all right, you might be able to pick out some of the salt in there, okay, but really it mixes together and it forms a new, something that is a salt and water mixture, and that mixture is called a solution, okay, because this solution is now a combination of water and salt, and I can't look inside here and pick out salt. It only looks like it's basically the water. Okay, so I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to see if I could separate my salt from my water. If I can do that, okay, that means that I should be able to tell the difference. Ooh, kind of spilling a little bit. All right, let me use a new filter here. All right, so now if you look inside my cup, it has water and it has the salt mixture with it. All right, if I look on my filter paper here, okay, I can see that I did not get any salt trapped on my filter paper. So I wasn't able to filter out any salt. So that means that this is a solution because I couldn't separate the two materials that I mixed together. So this is a solution, and this would be a mixture. So in the mixture, I was able to separate the rocks from the water. In the solution, I was not able to separate the materials because the salt completely dissolved or combined with the water. All right. So the last part is we're going to talk a little bit about solubility. Okay. Solubility would be if you are to the point where you cannot get any more materials dissolved into the liquid. And that's what we're going to be talking about on Tuesday for your live session. We're going to be using Kool-Aid to kind of explain what solubility means. All right, so if you have any questions, make sure you are contacting me and we will go from there.